We are seed starting indoors, finally. Hello everyone and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today we are going to start some seedlings to get started in our new indoor grow space. Now that the weather has started changing, right? It's getting cooler outside and I can grow cool season crops outside. So I have Brussels sprouts still outside. I have, I think, one or two cabbage left outside and just a teeny little bit of broccoli. I have some turnip greens and I also have radish outside. But those warm crops are pretty much done. We've had too much frost and they're all starting to die back. And so I am now ready to start really spending time indoors in my indoor grow space. So last week I set up my brand new 4x8 Vivison indoor grow tent. Last year I had a 5x5, actually the last 2 years I had a 5x5 and I've upgraded to a 4x8 grow space. But y'all, there's nothing inside. It's set up, but nothing's in there. And if you're interested in how I set this up, there's a video showing how I set that up. But in order to get this party started indoors, y'all, I need some seedlings. So today we are going to start some new seedlings and have them germinate. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start bringing plants indoors for us to enjoy this winter, right? I mean, not seedlings where I'm going to take back outside for transplants. We're going to transplant them indoors right behind me. So let me share with you what we're going to start today, and I will show the overall process of the things that we're going to have indoors. Now, I am starting some cool season things indoors, just because, y'all, when it's -10 outside Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is in Celsius. If I can find it, I'll show you here. But when it's cold outside is what I'm saying. I'm not going to want to go outside to pick these cool season crops. So I'm going to pick everything I need from right here inside. Now, for those who follow me, I do grow all of my own vegetables. I grow a year's supply of everything that I need for my family outside in the outdoor grow space. In the winter, this is just something for me to kind of play around with and have some fun while I wait for the season to come back. I am in Southwest Ohio. I am in Zone 6B. And so I have a really nice growing season outside. And there's only about 4 months or so where I can't really grow much of anything outside except from some hardy cool season crops. So we will be growing some things indoors. And for those who believe I spent thousands of dollars for this, you're wrong. I did not spend thousands of dollars for this. This grow tent right here is just a little bit over, I think it was $200. That's it. And the grow tent I had before, there was nothing wrong with it. I had 2 great seasons in it and it still looked brand new. But this will last year over year. The lights last year over year. It is not thousands of dollars. Now I'll get off of my soapbox and let me share with you what I plan on growing in my indoor grow space today. So the first cool season crop I'm going to grow are some collards because I don't want to go outside to grow those collards. Can I? Yes. Do I want to? No. So we will grow them indoors. And I'm going to grow 2 different kinds because this just happens to be the seeds that I have. We're going to grow Champion collard seeds, Georgia collard seeds, and then we are going to jump over and we are going to grow some tomatoes. And yes, I'm growing tomatoes indoors with my grow lights in my organic soil and with my organic fertilizer. So we are going to start some tomato seeds. And last year I started them outside at the end of the season. This year I just didn't get to it. But we are going to grow some micro dwarf tomatoes. They only get about a foot high. Some of them don't even get a foot high. And they're cherry style tomatoes. We are going to grow red robin. And here's a picture of red robin. And that's only 55 days to harvest, y'all. So we'll be eating red robin tomatoes before Christmas. I'm going to also grow a micro tom, and here's the picture for that. And I'm going to grow orange hat, and here's the picture for that. All three of those came from Victory Seeds. All three of those came from Victory Seeds. And then I am going to grow some full-size tomatoes. Yes, I said full-size tomatoes. I got the room for it, so why not? I am going to grow full-size tomatoes that come on short bush-style or dwarf-style plants. And I am going to grow my favorite bush tomato, which is Burpee's bush steak. So for a bush tomato, that is my favorite. And I pulled out Tasmanian chocolate, and here's a picture of Tasmanian chocolate. So those are the tomatoes we are going to start today. And then y'all, of course, I need 500 different varieties of lettuce. So let's talk about the different lettuces that I'm going to start. Let's start with the green lettuce first. We are going to do a slow boat, loose leaf lettuce. We're going to do Lantis Winter, which is also, Lantis Winter is a Dutch winter lettuce. I'm going to do Butter Crunch as well. I haven't grown Gustav in a while, so we're going to do Gustav. And that's it for the green lettuces. And then I'm going to get a little fancy, y'all. We're going to get a little fancy. I'm going to do Cimarron, which is kind of a romaine style lettuce. We're going to do Merlot. And I'm going to do La Rosa, which is a leaf lettuce. So these are my reds and my purples and my really deep browns and chocolates. But all of those are the lettuces that we're going to start right now. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to start. Let me change the setup here so you can see how I start these plants. And we're going to just get to it. All right. I am using a seed starting mix, and I sterilize my seed starting mix. And some people say you don't need to do that, and you're right, you don't need to do it. That's just how I like to do it, and that's how I'm going to do it. But I started with my seed starting mix. I put my seed starting mix into a container and I put boiling hot water over it. And that's how I sterilize my seed starting mix to try to kill any kind of larva or eggs, fungus, gnats, that kind of stuff. Kill all of that off before I ever introduce it into my grow space. So I do that first. And then I fill the containers, which I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a few of those now. And now my seed starting mix right now, honestly, y'all, it's a little too wet. Okay. So my seed starting mix is a little bit too wet, right? That's why it's so dark, like almost black. So I've waited 3 days. I can't wait any longer, y'all. I got other stuff to do. So I am going to use these little bitty seed starting trays. And some of these I bought 4 or 5 years ago. And some of these are recycled from where I've purchased things from my local nursery. And I think that's the only 2 styles that I'm using today. But anyway, we are going to just fill these containers up. Super easy. I'm going to go ahead and fill them up with the dirt. And it's so wet, I don't need to shake it down or pat it down or anything because it is super wet right now. And then we're going to put it over here in this container. Let me fill the other one up. Super easy process. And I'm going to do that. And I've already filled some, right, to try to speed this process up. But that's the step. That's what we need to do for these right here. And I don't want to get them too small. I mean, you can start bigger. You can start smaller. I don't want to go too small because I travel. And when I go out of town, I have an issue getting my family to water for me. So I don't want to do anything that's going to dry out too quickly and it doesn't get watered and it dries out. So that's why I'm going with little larger containers, but they come in many different shapes and sizes. But I chose this size just because they're a little larger. If you put them in larger containers, you don't have to worry about upsizing. I can go straight from here right into the container's its final home. So here it is. I have quite a few in this one, and I had already prepared one here. So those are the 2 trays that I will be using for seed starting. So we will start with this one here. At this point, I'm not adding any fertilizer or anything like that at this point. I'm going to do my tomatoes first. I have 5 different types of tomatoes. 5 different types of tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to reuse my little name tags, but I already I've made my name tags. So I got bush steak. I got my micro tom, my Tasmanian chocolate, orange hat, and red robin. So I got the name tags in. When you are planting seedlings, and if you've seen any of my, I gotta take my gloves off. I cannot do seeds with gloves on. When you're planting seedlings, follow the directions on your packet. And so typically for tomatoes, I grow them 1/4 of an inch deep, but again, follow whatever your packet says. Do I have any in here? I do. Tasmanian chocolate. That's right here in front of me. Now, y'all, I don't need a whole bunch of plants. I am in my indoor grow space. So I have to make sure I get good germination. I dropped my 1 seed. So I am going to plant 4 of these seeds. The older your seed gets, the germination will start dropping off. So I'm going to put all 4 in this 1 container. Yep, all in this 1 container. I'm going to push it down about 1/4 of an inch. All of the different things that I'm starting do not need a heating mat, so we will not be using a heating mat at all for any of this stuff that we're planting today. You see that? Tasmanian chocolate is done. That's it. That's how you do it. And I'm going to do that for all of the rest of these seeds. And then I'm going to go inside and I'm going to show you how I'm going to grow these in my indoor grow space. And I'll bring you back and I'll let you see how the seeds are doing, how they're coming along as they're growing and getting ready for me to put in their final home for the indoor grow space. The final home will be in my GreenStalk most likely. If not the GreenStalk, it'll be in a pot of some kind, but most likely it'll be one of my GreenStalks. There'll be a separate video on me setting up the GreenStalks and getting them ready to go for the indoor grow space, but most likely that's where they'll be. So let me finish this up. For everything that you see here, following the directions on the seed pack on how deep that I'm going to put them, I'll bring you back when I'm done. And then I'll show you the next step of how we're going to put them inside the indoor grow space. Last year, I did take some of my tomatoes from indoors and added them to the outdoor garden when the season changed. So that is going to be one of the options for the tomatoes. I mean, if they're still going strong when the spring comes back around and the weather warms up outside. So that will be an option. All right, let's do lettuce next. And I've made up all these trays and I don't even need all of this, but that's okay. And y'all, lettuce seeds are so small. Oh my God, they're so small. The lettuce seeds, y'all, I might have to separate those out later because they are tiny. Okay, y'all, here are all of the seedlings that I'm starting today. And we're going to have to see which ones are coming to the party. But I call this high density seed starting. I probably put, I don't know, 10 or more seeds in some of these cells. And so once they start coming up and once they get true leaves, I can separate them out and put them in individual containers. But I don't want to have to worry about watering a whole lot of stuff right now. So we have all of them in one 10-10, I think is what this is, a 10-10 seed starting tray. There are no holes in the bottom of this. All of my little containers have holes in the bottom. The soil is nice and moist, so I don't really need to water right now, but we will be watering these from the bottom. And that'll be the process as we hope these seedlings come to the party. Let's jump over into the inside grow tent and the grow area so you can see where I'm going to be starting them. All right, so I am in the indoor grow space. Y'all, look at all of this room. I even got an echo. I got so much room in here. But here are my little seedlings. We are going to put them under this grow light right here. But we need to lower this grow light. And I could have chose any one of these grow lights. But you know what? Let's use this other one. Let's use this one right here. So we're going to use this grow light right here. And like I said, I can use any of them. So let's turn this one on. And I want to use this one because it's actual grow lights in this one here. And I don't have to get on my knees either. So that's always it's always a plus. But I have all of my seedlings in here. We're going to use this grow light here. We're going to lower it to, well, hold on. I need to do one thing first. I always like to spray the top of my seedlings. Now my soil is already super moist, so I probably don't need to do this, but I always like to spray the top of my seedlings to give them a jump start. Now that I've done that, now we are going to push this back and we are going to lower this grow light till it's basically right on top of my seedlings. I have my fan here, which I don't need, so we're moving the fan out. I don't need it yet, anyway. You see, I put it literally right on top. Now, some people will cover this with saran wrap, right, to create a humidity dome and all that kind of stuff, and that is an option. I just don't do it. And so, since I don't do it, that means I have to water more often, which is probably why I have issues with watering when I'm not home, because my mom, I should say, just doesn't like to come down and water. But we should be fine for this next business trip because the soil is already super moist, and I will make sure I water it in really well before I leave for my trip. But it's in here. I got the light right over it. My grow lights are on timers. So all of my lights come on. They stay on for about 12 hours and then they go off, or they stay on for 16 hours, I should say. And then they go off for about 8 hours at night. And so this is ready to go. And y'all, I'm so excited because we are indoors. And I don't know, but when I'm in my indoor grow space, I just feel like summer's here because I have all this greenery all around me. And I'm ready for that to get started here this season. So here it is. It's set up. It's ready to go. I got the right grow light on. I've turned off, I think I turned all the rest of them off. Yes, I did. So the only grow light on is the one I need on. So we don't have this massive energy draw for my utility bill. And so it's just this one little light in this one little container. And then this one little container is going to give me what I need to start my GreenStalk. So that's it for today, y'all. I just wanted to start some seeds and bring you with me. The season has started. We are indoors now. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you want to see me growing indoors this year, and I'll see if I can make that happen for you. So, until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. See you next time.